The most important part of our face is, in my opinion, our eyebrows. It shapes the entire face. So if you want to transform into an entire new creature, you will have to learn how to cover them up. And in this video, we're gonna learn everything about it. Let's get into it! There are a lot of ways to cover your eyebrows, but I still use the glue stick method. It's one of the best methods in my opinion. It just works, it comes off very easily, and it stays on. That's all you need. But please invest in a good glue stick. We don't have the purple Elmer's glue stick that every drag queen uses across the internet. Don't buy a dollar store one, don't buy a cheap one. Actually invest in a good glue stick, and not saying that this was a $10 or something, but this is gonna make a difference. You want your eyebrows to stay in place, you don't want them to move, you want them to stay flat. That's the most important part of covering your eyebrows. So I'm using the Pritt one, and it actually really works. I don't think it's really that toxic or anything. I don't know, it just works. I've been using this for like 4 years, I'm still alive. It's not that horrible. You're also gonna need a spray bottle. This used to be like a Primark makeup remover one. I just removed the label and put some water in. Clean it really good because you don't want makeup remover on your eyebrows. You're also going to want to invest in a good powder. This is also really going to make a difference. Trust me, I know. I've used everything. I'm using the Coty Airspun powder. It's been used by all drag queens. I don't think it's that expensive in the United States. It is a little bit more pricey here in the Netherlands, but doesn't matter. It's just a good powder. I've used more expensive ones and I'm always coming back to Coty. So yeah. The first thing you want to do to start covering your eyebrows is get rid of everything that's already on your eyebrows. So I'm using a makeup wipe and I'm going to remove everything on my face. If you can, shave them off. If you have that courage, do it. It's gonna save you a lot of time, but I don't. So now that most product is gone, you want to kind of comb through it to just make sure that everything is staying in a similar place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover every part of my eyebrows except the front. So your eyebrows are actually like kind of weird because they start really straight, the hairs, and then they go like this. My eyebrows don't really like, the front of my eyebrows don't really like to be covered. They're always going to pop up. So what I've done is I've kept them in. I'm not going to glue them down because also my new eyebrows are starting from this point. So there's not really a reason to cover them up. So take the glue stick and we're gonna cover these brows. Most people go like back and forth with the glue stick. I would not recommend doing that. It's just going to make a giant mess. I would go recommend one way. So I'm gonna start actually like kind of in the middle, as you can see, and then work my way backwards. You just want to make everything flat, that's the point. You really don't want to rush this process. So what I then do is take my spray bottle, go a little bit against my finger so it becomes a little wet. You don't want to have an entire ocean on your face with this water, but you want to just smooth it out a little bit. There's a chance that there is going to be little eyebrow hairs around the glue down part or some excess glue, and you just want to clean that up a little bit. While that's having a moment to dry, I'm moving on to the other eyebrow. When some people see me do this process, they're like, is that gonna come out of your eyebrows? Yes, it's gonna come out. It's not like you're super gluing them down or something. This is just meant for like paper and stuff. Now you just wanna let the glue dry. Don't really do anything. Don't move your face too much, which I do a lot. So in this part, you can just move on to like doing primers or do the bottom part of your face. Some artists do that. Do that. You really have to figure out your own makeup routine. The good thing about these Pritt ones is that they dry really fast. You also want to look for a glue stick that is going to dry fast because it's going to save you a lot of time. Allow yourself to make mistakes because it literally took me 3 years to figure all this out. I was like, why are they not staying down? Well, you did it wrong, you stupid. It's not going to be a thing that you're going to learn in 3 seconds because your eyebrows are different than mine. For me, I figured out the front part of my eyebrows, not covering them is the best solution for me, but for you it could be maybe covering the entire eyebrows. What I've seen people do on other tutorials is taking a spoolie and going through your eyebrows. This is actually the worst thing you can do to your eyebrows because it's gonna mess everything up. There's also a step of putting a powder after every layer of glue. Also really horrible, do not do that. My eyebrow cover used to be really horrible. People always used to make fun of it. It was like an inside joke thing. But I finally kind of figured it out. The reason why it was so horrible is because I just blindly followed everyone on YouTube, and I was like, why doesn't it work? You just have to figure everything out for yourself. Don't be like, oh, this tutorial is gonna work for me. No, figure it out for yourself. I just want to help you out. If you use your fingers to smooth everything out, you only want to go one direction. Don't be like, because that's going to ruin everything. Your brows are gonna look like oatmeal. You don't want that. Going in with another layer, and I hope this is the last one. I think my eyebrows are already pretty smooth. Maybe I don't need another one. We're gonna see. The tails of your eyebrows are the parts that usually lift the first if it's not really glued down well. So I would recommend focusing on that part of your eyebrows as well. Really good. If you want to know if your eyebrows are basically ready, you want to just look at the side profile, and if nothing sticks out, then you're usually good to go. Yeah, I think we're fine. Always put the lid back on the glue stick. You're gonna forget that because there are a lot of products on my desk right now, and I always forget that. And they're gonna dry out because it's glue. Okay, so if you are gonna powder your eyebrows, you don't really wanna move them, you don't really wanna do anything with them, just stay still and go like, really press it in. Like actually hurt your face. Hurt your face, do it. And if this part, the powder is not gonna stick to it, or you're gonna see like there are little parts that do not have powder, that means that you covered them wrong. But for me, this eyebrow is doing really well. And also for this eyebrow, you really want to push it in because it's not going to like float on your eyebrows. It actually has to stay in there. Now I usually take a brush and actually fan the excess off a little bit because your face doesn't need that. So what I'm now doing is I'm using my foundation, which I'm using the Revolution Fast-Based Foundation in F5. It covers everything. And taking a brush and just going over it. Again, one side, you don't want to mess it up. And just go around that part that's not really covered. I used to use a white foundation to do this because then the colors would pop more and stuff. But I figured that it would highlight this entire area too much. And then I would just like an ancient caveman or something. Then I take my beauty sponge and blend everything a little bit into the skin because we're gonna put powder over it. And if you just set it like that, then you're gonna have really weird foundation patches all over your face. And if you blend everything out, then it can happen that the foundation is disappearing a little bit. Just go over it again. Okay, so now that they're pretty much covered in everything, we're gonna get the Coty powder again and go over it one more time. Also, pro tip, don't use too much powder because then it's going to pick up. And now you see that there is a little bit of too much going on here. Isn't really a problem because it's going to be covered. But if you plan on using no eyebrows, for example, then you kind of want to be a little bit less aggressive. So there you go. That's basically everything I do to cover my eyebrows. There's a little bit more powder here. If you have any questions or anything, just leave them in the comments below. I will try to answer them. And I will hope to see you next week. Goodbye!